Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to another video. My name is Javi and I hope you're having a very beautiful day. May you be shining all your heart out, all your light, and just expressing your truest, authentic, most self today, right now, and forever and ever. In this video, I wanted to actually speak on the responsibilities of living a life of really just being your true self. And it is a responsibility that a lot of people don't want. And they don't want to, what's the easiest word? They don't want to take the responsibility to hold themselves accountable. And most people think it's okay, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna live a life of righteousness and follow the path that God laid out for me. But they realize that it's not that it's hard, is that no one's doing it, or not as many people are doing it. That's the challenge for people, that they feel they're gonna be alone, and in some cases they are, as they're the only ones probably in their family or in their neighborhood or whatever that are staying true to their heart. So it becomes a responsibility, it becomes work, it becomes a great amount of discipline needed for you to follow through with staying true to your heart. Even though it's simple and easy and it's your most natural self, and I always speak on take away the layers from the mind, take away the layers of conditioning and programs, and it won't be that hard. But people start to think about how they're going to be different and that they're going to be looked different, and it's going to be obvious that they're going to be not flowing with the mass current, and they find that to be a challenge. They believe the mind has its way with them, and it gives them thoughts to make themselves believe that it's too much work, um, you know, life's gonna be boring, it's not gonna be fun, you're gonna just be, yeah, living a boring life. And that's the farthest from the truth, because what you end up doing is you liberate yourself. You truly liberate yourself from all expectations, from all judgments, from everything that holds you to always be feeling like you're not enough, like life is not enough, like, you know, the victim role in a lot of situations. And it is easier to play the victim role and blame the external condition and situations, um, to why things are the way they are, and why I'm suffering, and why you know, whatever, in not a in a true authentic space, because the world. But in reality, it's just requires discipline, it requires work. And it's why, it's the reason why, as a whole in the world, we haven't, you know, made the shift as far as um, the mainstream goes. You could still tune into like mindless TV, you could still hear, a lot of music that's not healthy for you, being created and pushed. And you can still see so much of the, you know, dark side of our reptilian uh, duality that we keep playing in these world, uh, characters that we embody. And it's all just back to the same thing, the mind, identifying with the mind, thinking that you are the thoughts, that you are those emotions, that you are these things that come up in front of your experience, and you identify with them, and then they shift your perspective to a point of view that's not as sturdy, it's not as authentic, it's not as real, and hence leaves room for a bunch of, you know, unhappy situations and unhappy circumstances that, because of cause and effect and karma. And, you know, we don't live our truest path. So then as we're living, we're creating holes, so that, like, in a year or two, we fall through those holes that we didn't, clear up. And it's just karma. That's all it really is. So in this video, I just wanted to point out that it takes responsibility, and it requires discipline. And that's why I'm always so ever grateful to, all my brothers and sisters that follow their heart. You guys are like gold. You guys are the true treasures of this world. And all of us, we all have it in us. All of us, we all know in our gut what's the right thing. We all know in our conscience. We all have a conscience that's always like in us. When we do something that we shouldn't be doing, it's like, dang, man, I feel guilty that I did that. Like, I ate that one food I shouldn't have ate. I, I didn't work out. I binged watched TV instead of just working out when I knew I could have worked out. I said that thing that I shouldn't have said, because I just got mad or whatever. I let the emotion take over my identity, and I reacted to it. So it's like it's all these situations happening simultaneously in the moment. And that's where the discipline comes, to slow down, to not be so reactive, to the responsibility and integrity to do the right thing even when no one's watching. you know and continue sharing the kindness, continue sharing your love, continue, even as people like might not appreciate it, or might not acknowledge you, or might, even in worse situations, they might take advantage and and really, you know not give you any sort of respect. But you know why you're doing it, and you're doing it because you're staying true to your heart. And the more you share your love, the more you grow in your love. The more you share your kindness, the more kindness is experienced for yourself and everybody around you. So as you give it to others, you first give it to yourself. And a quote that Buddha used to say was, it's when you feel anger towards somebody else, you think that you're you're throwing anger at someone. It's like, you feel you're being, expressing your aggression and towards somebody, like you're hurting them. But what Buddha's analogy was, that it was like you holding the hot coal with the intention of throwing it at somebody else. And it's the same thing. People are consistently burning themselves, and you know, they're the ones carrying that energy, feeling like they're, giving it to somebody else, but in reality, they're the ones carrying that energy. And even if you succeed into getting into somebody else's spirit and aura, first of all, you're creating bad karma for yourself. And second of all, that person might just not even care. So you think you're affecting them, and really they're just like, okay, well, whatever, that's how that person feels and thinks, and they're on about their day, and you're left, you know, thinking about them. You're left with, your emotions all shooken up and unstable, you know, and they're totally okay. So, it comes with a lot of, you know, work as well, because you can be awakened. And the thing is that you don't just awaken and that's it. You don't just like oh, I awake. Now it's time to go, chill and cruise control now. No, now you have to like live that lifestyle day to day and still practice your being present. Still practice. The mind's still gonna want to come in to your, the ego's still gonna want to get, expressed. The, personal self's still gonna get challenged. So it's still up to you to consistently, stay within your integrity and continue to follow your heart. And I make these videos to hopefully you get a sense of support. Hopefully you feel my heart, Like I know I know with life being so dynamic and having so many ranges, it's not easy sometimes, And trust me, where I live and where I'm at, and I've said this before, it's not the, most, you know, peaceful, heavenly, like physical, place in the world. I make it peaceful. I make it to heaven. I'm making it, you know, what it is through my attitude and how I see the world, and therefore I affect the world. I'm bringing value to my experience and shifting the frequency and shifting it into love and, bringing all that. It's not that, you know, it's all, you know, good. I mean, it is all good because we're making it all good. But it's not like, I have my neighbors coming over, baking for me and I have, you know, people giving me money and I have, all the love from everyone at all the times. It's, it's not how, you know, it is really, but in the same way, it really is like that because I give love and I give kindness. So then therefore I do create it and I do get it. But it was because we contributed to the field, and that's all this is. This is all just a united collective consciousness, a field, and we're all contributing into it. And, my intention always has been to give my heart so that other people can feel safe to give their heart. And, they can feel empowered and they can feel really, really encouraged that they see somebody, because, sometimes we don't have anybody, sometimes, you don't have anyone in your family or in your circle, to be on that level. So there's people like us on YouTube and on other platforms and just in general in the world. You could go to a temple, you can go to, read a book. So, there's many ways for you to, and just meditate in your silence, and you can get to these states of being in your highest self. And yeah, just continue, following your heart and don't give up. And I promise it gets better. It gets so much better. You just have to clear, the confusion that's, you're fighting with all the time. And once you like clear it by just simply observing it and not identifying with it, that's always the first thing. Don't identify with your thoughts. Don't identify with your emotions. Stay observing of them. And as you stay observing of them, you naturally start to flow. Your spirit's constantly just shining through without any pauses or limitations or, barriers that the mind and the personal self tries to create. So I love you guys. Namaste. All is love. Peace be with you. Om.